from MGM Resorts NBA Summer League at the Thomas and Mack Center in stupidly hot Las Vegas. The Starters fans are out in full force. They're fired up here after day one of Summer League in Vegas. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, is Tass Mellis. Tassy.
Summer League.
To my left, a little rare, it's the International Man of Mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis. Lily, and last, certainly not least, down yonder, showing off that chest hair, it's the bearded one, Trey Kirby. Hey-o! Hey-o! Not bad, not bad.
Not bad. They got it. 4 years in, we've nailed it.
Open shirt season, man.
Open shirt summer, and it's hot up here. It paid off to let the chest hair flow tonight.
Yeah. Look at that Jackson Pollock with the
Yeah.
shirt and the hair.
Catch me at Magic Mike later tonight.
All right, we got a fun show coming up on tonight's program here. We got Suns rookie Josh Jackson. He's going to join us live on set. Looking forward to that. And we're going to get into the Celtics-Pistons trade. Avery Bradley going to Detroit. Marcus Morris coming back to the Boston. So we'll get into that. But let's start with some Summer League highlights. It just makes sense.
What all these crazy LA fans came down from LA for. This place was rocking. First play of the game, Lonzo Ball's debut. He sets up Brandon Ingram. A gorgeous alley-oop. Brandon Ingram did his part in this game as well.
Woo!
That was a no-look pass from Ingram, showing the passing,
Looking like
showing a
magic.
lot. Yeah. Thomas Bryant right there. Bryce Johnson on the other side for the Clippers.
That's a smooth one.
Did a lot himself. Lonzo Ball hitting his only three-pointer of the game. He was 1 for 11 from downtown. Bryce Johnson, again, is he going to play this year in the rotation for the Clips? Quite possibly. He had 23 going right by Lonzo Ball. But Brandon Ingram was really the star of this game. He had 26. As we tick down in the fourth, he's got a chance to win it right here. It's all tied up at 87. Lets her rip. It's just off. He turns the ankle. He's down, and that's when President Magic Johnson said, no, he's done. Take it out. He's not playing overtime. It's over.
That's a wrap.
He called it. Brian Shaw loves that call right beside him. And then Sindarius Thornwell, he finishes it off for the Clips. A three-point win. Lonzo Ball's debut, only 5 points on 2 of 15 shooting. But LeVar was happy. Dad always happy.
He's always happy.
Showed some things. Lonzo Ball definitely showed some things out there.
This place was packed with Lakers
That's
fans.
not hyperbole.
And we can get to Brandon Ingram here in a second, but what did you think of Lonzo Ball's debut? I mean, the 1 for 11 from three-point land is pretty rough, but overall, what stood out to you?
Seeing him go 1 for 11, you wouldn't think that he shot 40% from 3 in college.
Right.
That shot will come, I suppose, but one thing that's definitely going to translate tonight, his passing was there. The only problem was they didn't have to guard him from the three-point line, and he wasn't really getting in the paint a ton.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key to Lonzo Ball actually being able to score in the league, is if he's hitting the threes when they're stepping back to him, that'll make it easier to get to the rim. It's the same sort of thing we saw with guys like Ricky Rubio, where they're going to play off you to hit until you can show that you make the threes, and then once you make the threes, things are a little bit easier, but you have to hope that he's a 40% shooter, maybe 35%. Can't be 1 for 11 for his whole career.
Is the sky falling, Lee? Do the Lakers have a bust in Lonzo Ball?
Well,
what do you think?
you might have thought that after the game here today, but look, Lakers fans haven't had a lot to cheer about lately. And Lonzo Ball coming in, he was a big name. The situation in LA was perfect. He's a big LA guy. Now, the shot we've talked about, that wasn't falling. That's fine. Guys like Chris Paul, Tony Parker, Derrick Rose, they couldn't shoot either in their first couple of years. It takes time to work on it. But if you can pass the ball and you can play defense, you're going to get still some time on the NBA floor. But no player, probably in Summer League this year certainly, is under more scrutiny anyway than Lonzo. A lot of that is to do with his dad. He brings a lot of attention to him and his family. He's going to have to get used to that. He's playing in LA, so that's the right market for him. This wasn't his best game, but we'll forget about it and move on.
Tough game from Lonzo Ball, but Brandon Ingram was phenomenal. Despite the twisted ankle, we may not even see him in the rest of Summer League because he played that well and he looked that much better than the competition out there. They may just shut him down for the rest of it. He looked great. But let's get to the Suns Kings. It just ended here, mere minutes ago.
The 4 and 5 pick going at it. De'Aaron Fox and Josh Jackson back and forth. This was fun. Jackson drives, flips in the reverse here, plus the foul.
That's nice.
This is pretty. Again, these fans in attendance were having a blast because these guys going back and forth. De'Aaron Fox drives, sinks the floater, loses his shoe in the process there.
Just like the pros.
Just like the pros do. Hey, you're a vet, kid. Second half, Josh Jackson driving down the lane for the finish. These two franchises, I'm sure, very happy with their 4 and 5 picks. Later in the third.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
Pretty. That's pretty. De'Aaron Fox hits the step back jumper. Do the Kings have a point guard of the future here? Quite possibly. A beautiful lay-in, coast to coast, shaking Derek Jones. He had 18 for the game. Fourth Q, Josh Jackson sinks the turnaround fade.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll have to ask him about that coming on the show later.
Let's ask him about this as well. Under 2 minutes left. Banks in the pull-up. 18 on the game. Suns win. Suns win the battle of the 4 and 5 again.
Summer League is all about the kids. That Suns fan's happy. Can't see anything, but he's happy.
That's a grown man.
But I want to get your thoughts on the Kings because you know they have a very, very young roster, but they made some interesting moves here in the offseason. They brought in a lot of vets. George Hill, Zach Randolph, Vince Carter going there for a year. Do you think this is the right decision, or are there any worries that guys like Hill and Zach Randolph and Vince almost get in the way of some of the young guys playing, or is this just a solid veteran locker room sort of move where you're incubating these young
It's a
guys?
definite locker room move. I personally think the kids should play, but the good thing about signing these veterans is they're not going to really put you over the top in the Western Conference. That it really jeopardizes getting another high draft pick for the Kings, which is what they are ultimately going to do. But like Lee's always said about the 76ers, you need some veteran mentors around to kind of teach you the ways of being in the NBA. So there's definite value in that.
Being professional, you know, it's about the work ethic. It's not just about going out on the court and playing. It's understanding how to treat your body right, how to eat right, what it's like when you go on a big road trip, how to get through that, being away from your family and friends for a while. So
Like
you know,
us right now?
Exactly, yeah. No, but it does take time. And George Hill, I mean, he's not that old. I mean, you're talking Zach and Vince
Right.
Carter. They're the real old guys. George Hill still is actually trying to play and be an effective point guard in this league. So I think that's great for De'Aaron Fox coming through.
I think they brought in the right veterans, guys that are professional players.
No doubt, those three.
And like you said, they're not going to make them a playoff team, which is a nice thing. And the young guys are still going to play. They have 9 guys under 23 or under. They're so young, so they have to play because there's 9 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys can't play all the minutes, right?
No, and then you look at Vince, who's already 40, and he's still playing productive minutes in the NBA. If guys can look at Vince Carter and say, in 17 years' time or 18 years' time, I might actually still be in the NBA.
Check this tweet coming from Sharks Love Tacos. Trey Kirby should lose a button every commercial break on the Starters NBA Summer League show and spend the week getting Lee Ellis to do the same. Yeah, take it
I
down
guess
a
we're
button.
going to the first one. I only got one more button done. What are we going to do?
Don't show those brownies yet.
We're
Lots
late
more
night
still to
now.
come.
Yeah, X-rated starters.
Josh Jackson, Suns rookie, will join us later in the show, and we'll get into this Celtics-Pistons deal from earlier today. Don't go anywhere. You might see some brownies.
Some Vander Blue
For the
highlights.
Brownies.
Welcome back to the Starters, right into the Up-Down Report, where the four of us figure out where we stand on some recent NBA news. And big news today, the Boston Celtics have agreed to send Avery Bradley and a 2019 second-round pick to the Detroit Pistons for Marcus Morris. Bradley's entering the final season of his contract. Boston needed to clear some cap space to officially sign Gordon Hayward there to the max. Avery Bradley considered to be one of the best defenders in the league at that guard position. Are you guys up or down on the Celtics trading Avery Bradley? What do you think?
Oh, it's a business, man.
It's a business,
That's
man.
the problem. That's the difficulty here because he is one of their better defenders, but he is also their heartbeat. That being said, he's got the shortest contract of those 2, 3, 4 players that they play there. And they all do the same sort of things. You know, him and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart and now Jason Tatum. There's a lot of them. And unfortunately, because his contract comes up at the end of the year, they weren't going to sign him long term.
You're just
because
saying
they have so many of them.
Just bookkeeping.
It's a numbers game for Avery Bradley in this situation. Plus, he's the shortest guy of all of them. And I think that plays a part because they're an undersized team. Why are you laughing?
Well, he's a good rebounder, though. He's a better
He's
rebounder.
very good.
Maybe their
He's a
best
very good
rebounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thumbs down?
I'm thumbs down. I know that Danny Ainge didn't want to trade him first. He was trying to make other offers, and this one was the only one he could really make to create the cap space and enough room to sign Gordon Hayward. But it's going to be a big loss. He is an all-NBA defender. I know he didn't actually make it this year, and players around the league,
They went nuts.
they went crazy.
What are you doing with your thumb over there?
Well, you know, I'm down.
Let it dangle. Just a dangle
Sort of
thumb.
like a dangle your thumb there, man. Are you all right?
But,
yeah, you
look,
usually cover your face.
Look, Avery Bradley next year in Detroit, all-star.
Whoa.
There's spots in the Eastern
That's
Conference.
the boldest declaration of
That's
Summer
a
League.
bold
And listen, he's
statement.
gotten better every single year throughout his career. He's going into a contract year next year. He's playing in the East.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the call. All right, moving on here, guys. According to Woj, the restricted Hawks free agent Tim Hardaway Jr. has signed a 4-year, $71 million offer sheet with the Knicks. I have people laughing behind me at this news. The Hawks now have a couple days here to match the offer, which contains a 15% trade kicker and a player option in the 4th year. Tim Hardaway had a bit of a breakout season last year, but are you up or down on the Hawks matching the Knicks' Tim Hardaway offer sheet?
Wow, this is a tough one.
Down.
Just let talent go?
Yeah, because Zach Lowe, reportedly is saying the Hawks were maybe thinking like 4 years, $48 million. That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
$48 million to the $71 million that the Knicks are throwing at him.
That's a huge gap considering the Hawks already have Kent Bazemore under contract for $17 a year and Dennis Schroeder for $15.5 a year. Paying those three as your backcourt for the next 3 seasons, that's just not a wise allocation of resources. You don't want to give them up, but the Hawks have their own pick. They've got some more first-round picks. They've got first-round picks from last year who didn't get a ton of playing time. You can afford to lose them if it's going to cost this much.
The market dictates your value, and the Hawks thought he was only worth $50 million. The Knicks come in with $71 million, so I was like, hey, he is in demand. I liked him last year. I thought he played really well. Shot selection, still a little bit iffy at times. But look, he's got now, if he goes to New York, he gets an opportunity there to perform. If he stays in Atlanta, he's going to expect to get more minutes and more shots and continue to improve next season.
And he can
Tough
get
spot.
buckets. I mean, he heats up quickly.
Sure.
This guy
He
heats
can
up
be a
quickly.
Jamal Crawford for sure.
Yeah, it's in the genes, Dad was really good at getting buckets like that
He was
as well.
streaky as well. You're absolutely
sure.
right about that. But $71 million, just a little too much for you, Tess.
Yeah, when you add up Kent Bazemore, regardless of Dennis Schroeder, there's another Miles Plumlee that's making around $12 million. So what kind of team are you going to be if you sign Tim Hardaway for the next few years? A borderline playoff team, I suppose.
Right.
Why not be slightly worse and possibly get a pick? It doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense.
The Hawks have already, lost Paul Millsap here in free agency. They traded Dwight Howard. They're worrying about putting in a courtside bar and a barber shop into the arena.
grow.
We got to get our fresh cuts.
It's all distractions right now in Atlanta, I think, because I think it might be a rough year there
That's a
in
lot of
Atlanta.
bucks.
It could be a lot of losses, absolutely. All right, final one here, guys. Some news out of Texas. Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs have
Dirk.
agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal. That's it. Second year of the deal will be a team option for the Mavs. Now the 39-year-old German averaged around 14 points and 6.5 boards last season, so he's still got some game. But are you guys up or down on Dirk taking what is obviously here a massive discount, the Dirk discount for Mark Cuban and the Mavs? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down.
I'm okay with it.
Too many Dirk discounts. The guy's given up so much money over his career, especially after the Mavericks won a title when theoretically maybe they were building. This year they're not building. Dirk could have got paid $25 million to pay next season. Mark Cuban would happily pay him $25 million next season, just like he did this season. I just think Dirk should get every dollar that he's owed and every dollar that he wants. Maybe he only wants
He
the
doesn't
$5
want
million. Yeah, but guess what? Give it to us then. We can split it 4 ways. That's $5 million apiece. Dirk gets $5 million. We're all living the life.
So what are you saying? Are you think that Dirk should get that Kobe-like
Yeah, I
sort of
do.
legacy contract?
If the Mavericks really aren't going to be making waves in the league, and it's going to be tough in the Western Conference, to me they could top out at maybe making the 8th seed, maybe stealing one game against whoever they play in the 1 seed. If they're not actually going to be building for a title, I don't see the point of him giving up money.
You know why I'm okay with it? Because this means, even though it can't be part of the contract, the tampering rules and yada yada, I'm only paying you to play basketball.
Right.
This means that he is going to give him billions. He's going to give him lots of money when he's retired. There's got to be some back
Is he going to get paid every dollar he's given up? Because that'd be $200
Times
million.
10.
Well,
I don't know.
He could still
but
pay
he's a
him
billionaire.
Are you saying
$20
Dirk
million is
Nowitzki's-
nothing to Mark Cuban, and he's going to help him out in his retirement. Retirement is hard for NBA players. He's going to give him something to do. He's going to have a job
Shark
for
Tank.
him.
He can be on
I was going
Shark
to say, do
Tank.
they have a German Shark Tank?
Maybe they'll start
I
one.
thought you were like the super Shark
yeah,
Tank fan.
I am. I just don't know too much about
I know they got
German
Dragon's
TV.
Den in Canada. I don't know what they have in Germany. So maybe Dirk will start that.
The
Maybe that's where the money
Chancellor.
will be
Yeah.
recuperated. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're hoping Suns rookie Josh Jackson.
Where you at, Josh?
Where they at,
Live
Joe?
on set. Looking forward to that. Starters
they at?
live from Vegas Summer League. Welcome back to the starters. Yeah, nice little zoom there on the number 4 pick from the 2017 draft. We are joined now by Suns rookie Josh Jackson. Josh, thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Had a pretty good first game here at Summer League. 18-8. You picked up the win. How did it feel out there?
Felt good. Not gonna lie, coming out in the beginning, naturally I was a little bit nervous, but as the game went on, I just had to realize it's just another game.
Just basketball.
Yeah.
Exactly. How excited are you with this very young Suns team heading into this season? You got some That's some core pieces it looks like here.
I'm really excited, especially playing in Summer League with a few guys who are actually going to be asked to play major minutes this year. That's why I think it's just really important for us to come out and take this serious, actually a lot more important than some other teams here because, like I said, we are so young and we got so many guys who are going to play major minutes this year on the team.
Fantastic. Well, when we knew you were coming on tonight, we took to the internet to do a little bit of research. We sometimes do that here on the Starters.
Don't believe everything.
Exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem with the internet, which is why we're going to play a game called Fact Checking with Josh Jackson. So we're going to throw some things at you that we've read or saw on the internet, and you can confirm whether they're a fact or whether they're true, whether they're false. All right, first one. Fact Checking with Josh Jackson. You're the best trash talker of your rookie class.
Fact.
Wow. That's a fact. You talk some junk out there.
Here and there when I want to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you do it? It gets you going?
It gets me going. I try to get under other players' skin, but mostly it gets me going.
Right. Not anything personal? Have you ever gone too low where you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have said that?
Yeah.
You're an honest man. You're an honest man. All right, next one here. Again, we saw this on the internet. You play a mean saxophone.
I play a decent saxophone.
A decent saxophone. Okay. How long have you been playing it?
I've been playing it since I was in about the 6th grade. We actually had a band class that I was forced to be in. But, I ended up liking it, and I played all the way up until I was in the 8th grade.
Did you get to pick the instrument? Did the saxophone speak to you?
Yeah, it
like
just
Kenny
called
G?
my name.
It did?
Yeah.
Play me.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was shaped like a J, so I picked it up.
That's smart.
Oh, that's smart. All right, next one here. You compare your basketball game to Kawhi Leonard. Is that a fact or is that a little false?
It's a fact.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
I do.
And so what do you see, or what are you trying to do that Kawhi Leonard does obviously on the floor?
Well, the way he just plays both ends of the floor, defense and offense, I think, he's just a really good player. And in today's NBA league, it's kind of hard to find, a guy who plays so hard on both ends just all the time.
He definitely came into the league too, sort of thought as a defensive guy, maybe not so polished offensively, and then now we've seen what he does as an MVP candidate.
Defense creates offense.
There you go. All right, next one here with Josh Jackson. Fact or fiction here, fact checking. You could have played professional baseball.
Fiction.
Fiction. That's fiction.
Yeah, go ahead, show the video.
We got to show the video.
I know you got it.
We got to show the video of you
Sorry.
taken to the mound here at a Diamondbacks game. Just.
It must have been a windy night,
Did
was
it slip? Did it slip? What happened?
In my defense, I've never stood on the mound and threw a baseball before.
It's different
Never
stepping on
before.
a mountain.
Much smaller ball compared to a basketball. Lot to adjust to.
Okay. Fact checking here. You wear number 99. We saw you number 99 here tonight for Wayne Gretzky.
Fiction.
That's fiction. So why 99? Why 99?
99, I wore it back in high school when I was in about the 9th grade AAU season, and that was actually the last number I wore before I wore 11, and I just couldn't wear 11 this year, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just wear 99.
So you like that double digit, the same number at least, so 99. I like it. Not a lot of 99s in NBA history. Right? I mean,
you got a chance to be the best ever. I mean, George Mikan's a tar ball across, but you can get there.
Okay, all right, next one here. You spent the entire NBA draft bus taking photos of your baller Rolex. Is that a fact?
I took maybe about 3 photos. And yeah.
We have some intel on this.
Now, we have sources. Trey Kirby was on that bus. Now, look at this watch. And I don't blame you, man.
I get it, man. When I get a pair of shoes, I want to make sure they look great on the gram. So you gotta check out.
You gotta get the right picture. You gotta get the right one.
How much work did you put into getting your suit, your fit ready for draft night?
It took me about maybe a month and a half to actually make a decision on what I was actually gonna wear.
Putting in some work.
Yeah.
It's a big night. Those pictures live forever.
Yeah, they are.
How fun was that night too? Obviously not too long ago.
It was really fun. Definitely one to remember. I think the funnest part was just being able to see all my friends, guys who I've, grown up with throughout, middle school to high school, and just seeing them succeed and myself succeed at the same time. It was really special.
Pretty awesome. All right, final one here. Fact checking with Josh Jackson. You've never lost at rock, paper, scissors.
Fiction.
Fiction. We saw it.
I've never lost on camera. If you want to play right now.
That's what we're talking about. Trey Kirby's the
I've
best.
been thinking about this all day.
Here we go. Let's do a best of 3. I think that's fair.
Rock,
all right.
paper,
1, 2,
scissors,
3.
shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Swept him, Trey.
He's human.
I always throw rock. I always throw rock.
Camera.
He's always throwing rock. All right, Josh, we can't thank you enough.
Thank you, man.
It's a Summer League tradition. We don't know why, but we get every one of our guests a cake. And on your cake, we put Saxon Jackson. Not Action Jackson, Saxon Jackson.
I love it.
Because of the guys, give it up for
Yeah.
Josh Jackson. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, get it.
Oh,
there.
he's into it straight away.
How is it?
Great.
Not bad? Great
I'll
stuff.
be sharing it.
All right, all right. We gotta take one more break. When we come back, Lili's very solid play. Don't go anywhere. Trey Kirby always throwing rock, man. Thanks a lot, Josh.
All right, my pleasure. Appreciate it.
Back with the starters. The fans are chanting Lee for solid play, so you gotta give the fans what they want, man. Very solid play for Summer League.
All right, well, here we are going out, and it is TJ Williams.
Where are we going?
Downstairs.
No, it's Cleveland and Milwaukee. Here it is here. TJ Williams with a beautiful bounce pass back door to Brandon. Don't
Hold on,
call
did
me
he dunk
Rich
that?
Paul. Well, he does, but only softly. That's all right. That counts. That's what I call a very solid play.
Thumbs up all around. You're a legend, Lee. You're a living legend.
Play of the day.
Play of the day. Play of the day.
It's Fred Van Vliet with the game winner here. And one. And one! Time ticking down. Raps take it here. Top take by Fred Van Vliet. Game winner. Top take.
Oh, and a
Stank
snarl. Yeah, Fred.
Raps 1-0. Going for that Summer League crown. We're gonna party if the Raps win the Summer League championship.
We won't be here though.
Oh yeah, we're only here for a couple nights. Yeah, you're right about that. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's NBA TV Summer League schedule here in Vegas. Well, we don't actually have it, but it is Mavs, Bulls, and Raptors, Wolves. So Raps going at it once again. That's it for night one. Shout out to the crowd. Phenomenal stuff. We'll be back tomorrow night following the last game of Summer League action.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. And look, this all happened on our first night.
Oh, Clippers
There he
General.
is.
Wow, anything can happen in Vegas.
Thanks again to Suns rookie Josh Jackson for coming through.
Whoa.
And oh yeah.
Ugh. Something for
Yeah,
everyone.